Yeah, so Gatekeeper goes back about 8 years now. I originally started that band probably back in 2010, 2011 or so in Edmonton, Alberta. And it was pretty much just me back then. I was a keyboard player in Edmonton. I was playing in power metal, prog bands, and I was doing a lot of work with like cover bands and things like that in musical theater. But I was just really into like old school heavy metal. And aside from the band Striker, there wasn't really any other acts quite like that in Edmonton. And so I just kind of picked up the guitar, started teaching myself how to play some riffs, and just kind of wanted to write some really fun, barbaric, and kind of slow stuff, and had a really good time with it. And then after a short little while, this is back in MySpace days, so I was putting clips online and things like that. And I started getting emails from some musicians who played in similar styles that I really admired. And we got talking. They recommended that I turn into an actual band, not just a bedroom project. So I went and recruited some pals to form the original lineup. And we played a few shows around Alberta and cut a couple EPs and some splits and things like that. And then after a little while, I think in 2015, I decided to move to Vancouver. I was basically just done with Edmonton. I'd seen enough, and moved to Vancouver. And after about a year, kind of got the itch again and decided to get the band back together. So I started jamming with our bassist David Messier, who was he was kind of a fan of what we've been doing before I moved. So I brought him in, and we were jamming, working on some new material. And then we got the call from our buddy Wes in Portland to do some of the dates, opening for Satan and things like that. And we did a short mini tour out of that. And so I called up JP to sing for us. We brought in Tommy on drums. And Luke Olson played lead guitar on that tour. And and then we just had so much fun that we decided to keep going. And as JP said a little earlier, we did the Ragnarocker Festival, and JP was driving us to the airport so we could get home. And we were kind of driving, and he was just like, "Am I in this band?" And we were just like, "Do you want to be in this band?" And he was like, "Yeah." And we were like, "Okay, let's do it."
I'm JP Aboud. I'm the singer of Gatekeeper. And what happened with Gatekeeper was back after my old band Borrowed Time broke up, I did a split 7-inch release with, I sang for a band called Funeral Circle on one recording. And on the B-side was Gatekeeper, Bell of Tarantia. And before that, we had played one show on the Funeral Circle tour across Canada, and Jeff and I, having met before at Ragnarocker Festival in Chicago, other metal festivals, it was great to finally play a show together. That was 2014. Now, fast forward 2016, Jeff asks me, after moving to Vancouver, if I'd like to sing for a new lineup of Gatekeeper. Obviously, I'm pretty enthusiastic about it, because no one in North America was really at the time, I think, making music like Gatekeeper. Music that's similar, but not the same, just scope of esoteric literature references and weird riff patterns, like the kind of stuff that I just really gravitate to. And I believe a lot of that came from Jeff's background as a jazz pianist going into metal. He has some interesting ideas that I just haven't heard anyone express before. So joining Gatekeeper in 2016, no brainer. We did my first thing I did with them, we opened for Satan. So it was just absolutely, it's as good as it could go. And we played with some bands that we're friends with as well, Substratum, Skeletor. So immediately, I wasn't in the band yet, but I wanted to do it again. So then we did Ragnarocker in Chicago, which is a festival we're all familiar with. Everybody. And Jeff and I and Tommy, and at the time Luke and Dave, we had a great show there, great showing. And it was just fantastic. And I decided after that I wanted to join the band permanently. And after that, we pretty much started working on new songs. We started writing Warrior Without Fear, Blade of Cimmeria, and East of Sun.
East of Sun was, so our debut album, East of Sun, was the result of a lot of, like, pretty much a year's worth of work and scheduling, getting in and out of the studio, bringing JP up from the States to record and getting everyone else in. So that was a lot of work, and getting that first full-length album to see the light of day was a massive accomplishment, and it was, it really helped get the ball rolling, and the album took us to Germany for our album release show at Keep It True. And it's taken us all over Western Canada, took us to Seattle for Northwest Metal Fest, and that experience and seeing the reaction to that has been both energizing and extremely humbling as well. And to be able to follow it up with Grey Maiden, with the new EP, to me, it's just we're just keeping the ball rolling. You know, we're keeping the momentum going, keeping the engine running, and I mean, I think it's what we need to do to get our to get the music out and get the message out, and just you know, we just don't want to stop. So.
Our current record is Grey Maiden. Now, Grey Maiden is not that different from East of Sun because everything that's new was written kind of at the same time as East of Sun. So that's why it's an EP extended play of that record. And what you also have is a re-recording of Tale of Twins and an acoustic song, which we'll be performing here in this studio, called Moss. And then a cover of Tredegar, the song Richard III. Now, the recording process was done in a different studio than East of Sun. It was done with Matt Roach at Rain City Studios. And I had a great time working there. Everyone else had a great time working there. And we got it done. I mean, I was shocked very quickly. Everyone was so happy when they would come downstairs out of the studio booth with their parts. And it was just a great vibe.
Oh man, yeah, there's a pile. We're playing some really killer festivals on this tour. We're playing the Hell Over Hammerberg Festival in Hamburg, Germany. We're also doing Sword Brothers Festival, and one that I'm really excited for is Up the Hammers in Athens, Greece. That's like a bucket list one for me. That's a festival I bought tickets for and then had to sell because I couldn't go myself. So really excited for all those. But there's some really cool places that I never thought I would ever go to. We're playing Warsaw, Poland, which is really exciting. Vienna too, which that's pretty wild. And we're playing with our pals in Eliminator in Manchester. We're playing Manchester with them, and Dornbirn in Austria as well, which is kind of like on the tip of Austria, like right next to Switzerland. So there's a lot of people from Switzerland who are checking in for that show, and we're playing with Stallion, who are rising force over in mainland Europe as well. So those are some of the dates that stand out, but obviously I think every show is going to be an adventure, so we're looking forward to every second of it.
Well, the European tour. Now, we did that with first, Cruz del Sur got our album all over the place and did a wonderful job. Enrico and Brigida are both great. And then Artery Global, we connected with them to help book this tour with Sanhedrin from New York. Now, Sanhedrin from New York is a great Kraken three-piece. So I'm really excited to bring like traditional, true heavy metal all across Europe in our way, and then also Sanhedrin as like a killer power trio. It's gonna be just fantastic. Can't wait to go to Antwerp, can't wait to go to Germany, can't wait to go to Poland, can't wait to go to Greece, can't wait to go to the UK, and obviously I don't have the poster with me, but I hopefully will memorize all the dates in the next month.
Oh man, well of course our label at Cruz del Sur Music were extremely supportive right from the get-go. We sent them like 3 crappy DIY demos of the songs, and they were all over it like right away. They really liked it. Artery Global has been a massive help for putting these dates together. Honestly, I'm so glad I didn't try to do it myself. That would have been a nightmare. So I'm glad someone else helped us out with that. Deaf Forever magazine as well over in Germany, huge supporters of the band. Metal Up magazine in Poland as well. Man, there's too many names. Some of the great bands we've played with: Skeletor, Substratum, Grim Reaper. We've done some shows with Grim Reaper. That was a ton of fun. And of course the local crew, Journeyman Productions, for putting the shows on and hosting us constantly. It seems like. And there's probably a million other people that I'm forgetting, but those stick out in my mind heavily. And of course, all the people who bought the old records and stuck with us all these years. We can't wait to meet you. Come on out, see the gigs. We're playing a lot of shows, so we really hope we see maybe some familiar and a lot of unfamiliar faces. And just come out, say hi. We'll have a beer and take some photos, and we'll just have a good old time, because we're there to see you as much as people might come out to see us. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.